Good afternoon, Olivia.
Good afternoon. I don't know why I sang it like that. Good afternoon.
Well, you got them vibes. That's
Yeah,
all right.
you
It's
got
them
the
New Year's.
vibes.
It's the go home vibes, man. That's what it is. It's exciting. The host of the game last night, Cap, which you absolutely should be watching on a very regular basis on all of Olivia's platform. What's the preferred platform? IG. That's the one I watch it on every time.
That's right.
You do. And I did notice that some folks have gone back and started liking my old videos on TikTok. And in the new year, I think I'm only going to be using TikTok for the game last night, Caps, and go back to using.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
what's the
up,
TikTok
people?
handle? We'll wait. What's the TikTok handle?
It's the game last night.
Okay. I just want to make sure everybody got it. The game. Now,
Yeah.
what is wrong with you now?
What's wrong with KC?
The basketball gods giveth, the basketball gods taketh away.
Oh, what the hell? What is this trash?
Damn.
The ESPN has taken the Rockets and Kings off of their network and replaced it with the Suns, who are playing without Devin Booker and the team who the Kings beat last night. The Suns and Nuggets, my fever dream of Mark Jones calling a Kings game on ESPN is now dead. That's trash.
How we lose a home ESPN game? Because the Rockets stink.
After this is trash. You got to be kidding me.
This is trash.
For the Suns and the Nuggets, like why?
I can't explain it. Can't explain it.
That's ridiculous.
Just disgusted.
I swear, if Mark Jones don't fire off an angry tweet right now,
do it. Mark.
No, actually, Mark, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let us do that for you. Last week,
they could at least put us on ESPN.
No, don't do that.
A bunch of college age kids playing for the Rockets anyway.
Well, that's actually accurate. The Rockets and Kings, January 11th, are off ESPN for no reason whatsoever.
Damn.
They're being replaced by the Suns without Devin Booker and the Nuggets. I believe the Suns lost last night, by the way.
They did too.
Cool. No, give them another nationally televised game.
Yeah, they lost to somebody they should have beat. They just beat Memphis the other day, though. I will give them that.
Oh, what'd you think of that game last night? Energy was wild here in Sacramento. Energy was wild on Twitter. Energy was wild at the Golden One Center.
That was an exciting game. I like that I get to keep coming on the show after a really exciting victory. And I have to say there's some champagne stains on my couch here from jumping up and excitement from how awesome that was. And I've been dabbing it and trying. I'm gonna have to call somebody to like suck this out of the couch. But it was so fun. There was some dancing in the living room last night for sure. What a great game. That was a great game.
That was that was intense.
It was very.
It was one of those like why am I sweating like this?
I know, right? I'm like, this is emotional.
Very intense.
I am not playing. Why am I sweating?
Did you think they were going to win that game last night? I got full transparency.
I never thought
I never thought they were going to win.
Hater.
I go in hoping for the best. I'm never going in like we're going to win, especially because I think it's really hard to win when you're expected to win. When there are, they were sitting a number of players. Yeah. And because of that, it's like, well, if Domas is coming back and folks are sitting out, like the Kings should win. And sometimes that's a mental hurdle folks have to get over to be able to go and win those games that they should win.
Especially with the Kings, I think back to the Scranton 56ers right. Where like 8 rotational players were missing for Philadelphia and they still managed to beat the Kings.
Yeah, but Gordon is on something right now. And it's just, that I remember like playing tennis. I always lost to the girls who had terrible records because it's just like, especially if they play bad. Tennis is a weird game. Like if somebody plays bad, it makes you play worse. Like if they can't get it over the net or they have no real pace, it's difficult to maintain the way you play and your style. Well, at least it was for me. I'm sure there are professionals who know how to handle this, but it's a mental thing to be able to go in and win when you're supposed to win.
Draymond Christian over here. Draymond Christian. It's hard to get up for these sorry-ass tennis players. I get up for the good ones. These sorry-ass tennis players, it's tough.
If it's a it's hard, especially when you think about how so many athletes, and I think rappers are the same way, they talk about haters. Haters motivate them. People who don't expect them to win motivates them to work even harder. So if you're going into a game and the expectation is you're going to win, you have to be able to kind of step up and correct your mindset in a way. Like, yeah, I'm supposed to win and I'm going to go get it. But, obviously the Kings did that last night. And I'm not really a fan of back-to-backs where you're playing the same team. Yeah. But I think that worked in their favor, clearly, as they won. But they experienced the bad side of it, right? The night before they were up by 20 at one point, and they saw how hard Denver worked to get back in the game, and they weren't going to allow that to happen to them. They had a will to win that I thought was incredible. Another side note about sports that I played softball my freshman year in high school. It's the only year that I played softball. And women's softball in the mid to late 90s, we sang songs when we were up at bat. There were different songs like "There's a hole out there, hit the ball out there." But there was also a song that we sang that was, "You've got to want it to win it, and we want it more." And that song stays with me.
I'm
and
sorry.
The Kings,
this happened while you were. No, this happened while you were at the plate.
Well, the people on the bench were singing while a batter was up, telling them like, get after it, hit the ball out, those kind of things. There are any women who played softball.
The teammates.
I don't know. This has been a really
your teammates. We sang songs. I don't know why it happened. That's what they did. I learned the songs when I joined the team. But you got to want it to win it, and we want it more is kind of a strategy that I apply to my life today. Like if I really want to get after it, if I want this victory, if I want this client, if I want to do this job, I want to work in this field, look, I have to will myself to do it and not expect other people to fold. And that's what I think we saw last night with the Kings. Like Denver wasn't going to give it up. They had to go get it. And I appreciated the fact that they did not give up on themselves. It's a long game. It didn't matter that they were up by so many in the first half and the third quarter. You got to play until the whistle blows at the end. And it was a close one. It was scary. But I appreciated the fact that they went after it. They got after it, and they cut off that losing streak. It wasn't even really a streak. It was just 2 games. They're like, no, it ends tonight.
They responded. Yeah, they responded again.
What's the saying again? You got to want it more.
You got to want it to win it, and we want it more.
Head coach at Duke, put that on a shirt.
I don't think that's going to get worked into any of her speeches. I'm just going to go out on a limb that an old softball chant won't get worked into any of those speeches.
Well, is it the fact that I mentioned softball? Is it better if I said the football team, the basketball team, or is it
No, it was the football. No, I guess I'm just trying to envision team, like, because you said high school. Now in Little League, like I remember Little League, but like I'm talking like 7, 8, like trying to keep kids' attention span and tune in. Hey, sing to your teammate. High school, I guess I just missed that part. That's all.
Well, maybe perhaps it's phased out by now. I'm an old lady at this point. When I was in high school, my freshman year, that's what we did, and it was motivating, and we won the division.
Did you get fired up when your jam came on, and you got to want it to win it? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit this ball 300 feet now.
Well, when you think about it, all athletes do this, right? They put some kind of music in their ear. They're getting hyped together in the locker room. They have a chant. They have something to get themselves encouraged.
Yeah,
Drake bars ignites the whole community here. But it's not that nutballs to think about it. But it is a little weird to have like legit songs that we sing. But it's all about motivation and reminding people of what they're capable of and looking at it as a team effort, people supporting you. So that's what I think happened with the Kings. And again, that kind of mentality, that song particularly kind of has stuck with me over the years. You have to want it to win it. If you're going to give it up, the other team will take it, but you have to put in the work consistently and get after it. And like I said, the Kings did that obviously last night. And I'm glad that they were able to get kind of that retaliation the next night after having such a disappointing win the night before.
We can create an Olivia shirt over at DeLoandCasey.com and put that on there.
100%. Olivia, you get your own shirt.
It'd be the official Olivia shirt.
Absolutely.
For 2023.
We're making that happen. That's for sure.
Yay.
So, Olivia, what did you think about our guy, Malik Monk? after Tuesday's game, saying, you know, I'm not playing good. I apologize to my teammates and to the city of Sacramento. And then answering the bell the way he did last night, 33 points was phenomenal. I mean, these are the type of things that I know we love out here in Sacramento, you know, blue collar, accountability, just coming out here and then saying, hey, it's my mistake. I'm not handling business. And then coming out and answering the bell. What did you make of all that?
I thought it was pretty remarkable. One, I didn't really think he needed to apologize to fans. I don't think fans were mad at him. We might be disappointed when some people don't perform the way that we expect them to. He's been a pretty consistent player throughout the season. He comes in with so much energy, playmaking abilities, being in the right place at the right time, and making himself be in a position to be successful, and his fellow teammates putting them in position to be successful. So having an off night and the ball not bouncing the way you want it to, or dropping the way that you want it to, that happens. That's sports. That's why you play the game. But I think he did that kind of just talking to himself. Yeah. You know, it's a way for him to take accountability. He says that he's, you know, sorry to fans, but he's really just talking to himself, reminding himself that, you know, there's every night is a possibility to turn the corner, to turn the page, to come back again. And it's a long season. So I think that's his way of hyping himself up. But it also kind of reminded me, because I heard about that quote from Malik. It reminded me of like the times that I've been able to talk with former athletes, those who have retired. I ask them questions about what kind of mentality they use, lessons they've learned from sports, do they apply to the next chapter in their life. And they often talk about the necessity of moving on from the last play, the last mistake. Because if you're just kind of harping on it, you're thinking about it, you're depressed about it, it becomes layered. It takes you out of your game, out of your focus, and your inability to kind of produce moving forward. And I think athletes typically have a good ability to do that in a game. But it's something I think they have to remind themselves of at times. You can't get down about either one play or one game or even a couple of games in a row. You are a professional athlete. You are living the life of your dreams. So you just have to pick yourself up, remind yourself of what you're capable of, and then perform to the best of your ability every night. And when your fans can see that you're performing to the best of your ability every night, they're not going to need an apology when you have an off night. They know what kind of vigor and aggressiveness and joy that Malik brings to the team, to the court every night. And I'm glad he got that for himself last night. As fans, of course, we enjoyed to see it. But I'm glad that he got that satisfaction, that kind of a game, following the kind of game he had the night before.
A couple of things here. Shout out to Sass one more time for 2022. But he owes us 4 years of apologies. It's a big fact. I also think that's an incredible point to mention, because we've talked about that tweet from Malik Monk a couple of times today, in the incredible performance we had. There wasn't a single person who was frustrated with Malik Monk individually. Maybe frustration over the Kings in general, and kind of wondering, hey, what is this? What's going on? And I think you're spot on when you say that was his attempt at personal accountability. And the fact that this team, Malik individually, but this team collectively, responded again when we called them out to do just that. When they've had losses, when they've had some things not go their way, when they lose the front end of a back-to-back in a game that they had put themselves in really good position in the first half, to respond again for like the 30th time this year speaks to this group collectively.
It does, and it also speaks to their ability, or I shouldn't say their ability, but the fact that they have confidence in each other. You know, they've been there and done that at this point. Like you said, it's happened a number of times this season where they've had to have comeback wins, or they've had to like hold the fort down and make sure if they've been winning for a few quarters to really close out a game. That builds confidence within individuals and collectively as a team. We've been in the trenches before. We have the ability to see our way out of it, to dig our way out of this 20-point deficit. It's not like we don't have the skill set. We have the players. We've got a deep bench. We've got the personnel. It's really a mentality next. And when you have that experience, you go through those kind of trials and mental hurdles and tribulations, you build confidence. Like I said, individually as these athletes, I have the ability to overcome these challenges, but I also have confidence in who I'm passing the ball to. Yeah. I know they're going to make a good decision, at least a decision that it may not result in 2 points, but it's not going to be some ridiculous, I'm going to win the game on my own. They're going to continue to play in a team effort, playing their roles, and enjoying the fact that they can set each other up for success. But what I like about this team, again, is what you mentioned. It's like they've been there and done that, but you can see how much they respond to it. Like their shoulders don't slump. They don't seem to have any doubt as the game goes on. It's just like, I'm just going to keep plugging away. We're just going to keep playing our game. We got to call timeout. Let's rotate some folks in, get some new energy in there, make sure we lock down on defense. And Davion's been incredible on that end, but they know what to do and they're doing it. They don't fall apart at the seams when things aren't falling, when the threes aren't falling, all hell doesn't break loose. And again, that seeds more, that produces more confidence in them. And I think it's going to bode well for them as they get further and further into the season, when these games tighten up, when the standings tighten up even more as crunch time comes.
I mentioned one thing real quick, Casey. The last 2-minute report is out. There were 3 mistakes in the last 2 minutes. 2 of them went in favor of the Kings, including a missed foul on Domantas Sabonis that would have been his 6th foul with 58 seconds remaining. That play led to the Lyles out of bounds save that was also called incorrectly.
Whatever.
Oh, well.
Whatever.
Yeah. Excuse me if we don't give a damn. Talk to me when you miss a call on the absolute final possession of the game.
Right.
Twice.
As the great Bam Bam Bigelow said to Lawrence Taylor, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
Wow, that's a wow. We're quoting WrestleMania 11. That's spectacular.
For a long time, one of my top 3 WrestleManias of all time. I love that.
Really, it's literally probably the second most garbage WrestleMania in history.
Well, I don't know about the rest of it, but I love the Shawn versus Diesel.
That's
and
incredible.
I love,
that's incredible.
Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam.
What do you
and
think?
Salt and Pepper.
What do you think, Olivia?
Oh, man.
Stop putting me on the spot to talk about wrestling.
What is your favorite WrestleMania of all time?
Well, I have to say that quote is from the Old Testament, if you want to go origin story here. But
no,
yeah,
it's from Bam Bam and Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, I'm a fan of Lawrence Taylor. But I just kind of
that WrestleMania question, by the way, that was a joke.
Okay, thank you. I'm always like, I feel bad. I did watch wrestling as a child. I was never forced to watch WrestleMania, like Junkyard Dog and
absolutely knew there would. I knew it would be somewhere in that era. Superfly, Jimmy Snuka, I'm sure. Yep, I got you. That's fine.
I have scars from being thrown from the top of the ropes. There are things that I experienced that led to me not wanting to be a wrestling fan.
You have one brother?
One brother.
Yeah. And 2 sisters.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Did the sisters ever jump off the top rope with a Superfly splash?
I'm sure they did.
No, I was and continue to be very small. I'm only 5'2", so I was easy to throw. My sister, older than me but younger than my brother, was always a lot taller, so he couldn't really get a handle on her. But throwing me from wall to wall off the couch, that was an easy thing for him to do. So.
Your niece is probably 6 inches taller than you at this point.
Even my 7-year-old niece, she's fast approaching. I'm like, oh goodness.
Olivia, when she came to watch the game, she stayed and watched.
Yeah, when you guys sat in the 3rd row right after I left.
I mean,
no, it's fine.
Hey. No, it's fine. It kind of happens.
Sure. Yeah, sure. It just happens. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Courtside. Oh.
People thought Kenny and I were super famous. We were sitting down there. I was like, Kenny, this woman keeps staring at me. She was sitting right next to me.
Yeah, because of the shoes.
Well, you look like a star. When you step out with your blazer and your shoes.
The shoes in the bag.
Yeah, you look like a superstar.
Yeah.
It's all about how you walk into the room, right? If you walk in with confidence, people think you're supposed to be there.
That's facts.
But I say that to say, and I won't give away too many details, but we went and watched Warren G. And at the end of Warren G,
Kenny, no. Stop it. Stop it right now. Do not get into that.
I don't even know the end of this story.
This is
No,
weird.
Kenny,
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
come on.
Look
I
at
have
that.
video of both of us that night dancing to Warren G that I have never posted. So
I'm not gonna say nothing.
How do you
okay,
dance?
I know that sounded weird, me saying I have video.
Yeah, no, it's weird, but it's fine. Like we're used to. I got to be honest. This whole damn conversation has been weird. Started with the champagne on the couch, and then trying to blot it out. Like it's been a day.
But people don't spill champagne when they watch basketball at home. That's
Well, I
my
mean, that's
drink
the
of-
Maybach O life, drinking champagne.
I mean, yeah, you're just
watching
sitting around on
basketball.
a Wednesday drinking champagne, watching Kings
That's
basketball.
that Maybach O life.
Well, I was going to pull in my beer truck, but there's no parking out front. So I went with the champagne.
The Luke Belair
Thank you, Luke
champagne, I'm
Belair.
sure.
Yes, the Luke Belair
Yeah.
champagne.
You got plans for New Year's Eve?
I have plans to drink more champagne. Oh my gosh, I have the perfect dress. I'm so excited. Yes, I'm going out dancing at some club that I don't know. I have friends
Really?
who
I would've
tell
never
me where to go.
On New Year's Eve.
Wow.
I bought a dress, I think a year and a half ago when I was at like peak pandemic pounds. There was no way I was like, I don't know if I'm going to need some kind of terminal illness to fit into this dress.
Oh, God.
And thankfully I didn't have one, but I don't know how it happened because I still like my Doritos and champagne and beer and all that. But I tried on the dress. I'm like, let's see if I can get into this dress for New Year's. And it totally fits. And it's not disgusting. There aren't like rolls of ugly. I'm like, I don't know how this happened. My New Year's resolution is to figure out how to stay that size so I can wear that dress. But it's fantastic. I will be taking pictures by my big window and posting it
Wait.
on Instagram. I know Damien lives for those
I
photo
do.
shoots.
Those are it's my favorite day of the week when those pictures by the gigantic window pop up. There's rumors Olivia is going to be here in the next week or so. This Trista Crick to Sacramento trip has really turned into a monumental weekend that Olivia's coming out for, that Kyle Matson's driving up for. We're going to have quite the week next week. As I told James, I'll tell you, thank you for all the wonderful work that you've done with us throughout the course of 2022 and the amazing work that you've done with the game last night, Cap, on social media. And we're looking forward to seeing some of the amazing things that 2023 brings for all of us together.
Yeah, man. Maybach O. You rock.